Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 3:01 p.m. I'm a little bit late today, guys. Sorry about that. 3:01 p.m. here in New Vienna, Iowa. That means it's time for another live stream. Today is Thursday, November 19th, 2020. It's hard to believe. It's like the end of November already. This has been a strange year for sure, but definitely every month I say it's been another month that seems to have taken forever and also flown by at the same time. What a strange time. But today is happy hour because it is Thursday, and for happy hour I thought I'd switch it up a little bit and try something a little bit different today. I don't know if I got an Instagram ad or what, but I went on a buying binge of all of these kind of like vitamin C immunity kind of like drink things, and they all came in today, and I was going to do a big giant sampler of all of them at once, but because of the amount of like vitamins and stuff that's in them, it'd be like if I ate like 7 different multivitamins in a day. So I didn't want to do that. So we're just going to do one today. I'm going to try Airborne. And Airborne is the one that made me like really think about this, because I saw an ad where like someone would like had like them like a tablet in like this tube, and I was like, oh, that looks like Noon. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll just try that. So that's what I want to try today. Yeah, we'll see. I'll talk to you a little bit more about that once I kind of get it going. You got to like plop it in, kind of like a Noon tablet, I guess. But first, let's say hi to everyone listening in the podcast version. Hopefully you guys are having a good run today. And everyone listening after the fact and watching it on YouTube, awesome. Glad to see you guys here. Now let's see who's tuned in live for today. All right, we've got Stevie76 saying, Bryan College Station, Texas Marathon was canceled yesterday. I wouldn't be surprised if they canceled the Mississippi Gulf Coast Marathon too. That's the one that's going to be in Mississippi. Is that the one you were going to be running? Yeah, that's a bummer. It's a bummer. But I also just think it's a really tough time to be running marathons, or like as a race organizer to be like operating a marathon right now. But still a bummer whenever something that wasn't or we thought might go through doesn't get to go through. Change this a little bit. I think I'm a little too bright. There we go. That seems better. Roadrunner Reviews is here. Says hi all. And we got Chris Yao here as well. It says hi, Ines and Christian saying hi to Roadrunner as well. He says, let's get prepared for what weirdness Kofuzi throws at us today. Well, look at this new picture from Chris. Time he's got his cat. I used to have a cat, or actually my sister used to have a cat that was like this kind of like type of cat. And it would play fetch with Nerf darts. It's actually a pretty amazing cat. That was a long time ago. I missed that cat though. Innes had a nice 8.5 mile travel with Pip after work today. He needs gloves and a hat now there for running as the temperatures are dropping. Oh yeah. But yeah, 8.5 mile trail run with the dog. Sounds like a pretty nice afternoon. Awesome. Christian is here, says hi everyone. Good to see you. And Remy's here as well, saying good work, Pip, and also Innes, I guess. Lee Joyce Chung says Honolulu Marathon was canceled several weeks ago. That's a bummer too. Yeah, I mean, Hawaii's been. I mean, I know it's an island, so it's been acting like an island. I was gonna say, but like that seemed weird. But there we go. What's going on here? There we go. Camera's back on. But it just seems like I thought that they had kind of like cordoned themselves off from pretty much all newcomer, like all tourists for a while. It's a bummer to see that. I thought they were starting to gradually reopen to some tourism, but sorry to hear that Honolulu Marathon didn't make it. David Sachs says, what's up, everyone? And I run on beer, says, woohoo, happy hour. Yeah, but I run on beer. It's not going to be a beer happy hour today. Hopefully, I was waiting for another delivery today, and I don't know if it just didn't make it in time. So next week should be some pretty interesting stuff, hopefully, for happy hour. Otherwise, it's going to be more like of these like airborne things. But we'll see how that goes. But happy hour is happy nonetheless. On that note, let's get started for happy hour. So I've never tried any of these airborne things, and I'm not going to like vouch for any of like these claims, immune support supplement things, because I just don't know. It has basically a lot of vitamin C and then like minerals and herbs and stuff in there. I think the proprietary, it's got like manganese, sodium, selenium, vitamin C, vitamin E. Some of them have like a lot of the B vitamins. This one I don't think does, but it's got a lot of herbs in it. The ones that I can kind of tell are, there's a couple here, and then there's ginger, echinacea, just some stuff. I don't, I've never really been into this stuff. I always thought it was kind of like just placebo in a tablet, and maybe that's what it is, but let's see how it is. What's different from these in water, what's different from these in Noon is that these tablets are thin. They're like half the thickness of like a Noon tab. And you're only supposed to put them in a small amount of water, 4 to 6 ounces of water. Whereas like Noon, it's like put it in like get 12 ounces, get a liter, whatever. They're just like put it in a bunch of water. But this one, 4 to 6. This is a little bit more than 4 to 6 ounces, but we'll try it in there. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz, as they say. Oh, that's not really that, but it is kind of bubbling up. So we'll let that kind of cook, so to speak, simmer, and get that going. All right. By the way, it is an absolutely beautiful day here in Iowa. Temperatures were in the 40s for my run today. And then when I took the girls out for recess at lunchtime, it was really, really nice. A little bit windy, but, high 40s, which is really nice for this time of year, especially since for my runs, it's been in like the 20s, like mid 20s. During the day, it gets a little bit warmer. We'll get above freezing during the day, but for like the morning times, it's been chilly. So it was really nice to be able to get a run in with thinner gloves without a buff. I ran in like a baseball cap. It was just really, really nice. Jody says, "Good day, everyone." Gavin Braden says, "What's up, everyone? Raining and cold in Belfast. Had to resort to treadmill and gym yesterday. So boring." Oh, well, at least that's still available to you. So that's a good thing. Because I feel like for a lot of people, at least in the US, for a lot of people, those treadmills are going to disappear. Unless you've got one like at home, but like treadmills at gyms, I think that's going away for a lot of people. Scott says, "I'm tired, a long run today, but happy to be here." Well, I'm happy you're here, and I'm happy you got your long run in today. Awesome. Chase's Summit says, "Airborne for the win." Yeah, this is my first time, so we'll see how it goes. All right, let's scroll down. Sorry if I'm skipping past your comment. Sorry about that, guys. Shannon says, "Just finished an all-day patient study visit just in time for the stream." Awesome. Very cool. Good to see you, Shannon. Carlos says, "What is that Reebok-looking shoe you've been running in lately?" It's the Reebok Float Ride Grow. So it's based off the Reebok Float Ride Forever Energy 2. I don't know. I always mix up the order of the words, but I think that's all the words. But the one that I have is a more sustainable version. And I got it about a month and a half ago, but I've actually been just really enjoying it. It's a good daily trainer. It's a little bit on the firm side, but now that I've kind of like gotten used to that level of firmness, it's like really nice. So I've been enjoying it. Bruno Margarito says, "Nova Blast or Rincon 2 for a daily driver?" For daily, I would go with the Nova Blast. The Rincon 2 is a little bit firm for a daily driver, at least on some of like, if you're doing a long, slow run, the Rincon 2 just doesn't feel as comfortable. Whereas the Nova Blast 2 would be right at home at a nice, easy long run. But at speed, I think I'd like the Rincon 2 a lot more than I would like the Nova Blast. Some people love the Nova Blast for speed. I'm not one of those people. All right, let's take a sip of this stuff. Oh, it smells like very fruity. It smells like clementines. So what flavor is it supposed to be? It's just zesty orange. It's naturally and artificially flavored. I mean, at that point, do you even write it? It says naturally and artificially flavored right on the thing here. Why don't you just leave it at zesty orange if you got to also put and artificially flavored in there? I don't know. This I like. This is really nice. This is tasty. It's good. A little bubbly, citrusy. It actually tastes like an orange drink. It's yummy. I mean, I loved Tang growing up. So, yeah, this is good. This is good. I can drink these all day, but you can only have like 1 or 2 a day at max because of the amount of, I mean, vitamin C is water soluble, right? So you can like totally OD on, you can never OD on vitamin C, right? You just pee it out, I think. But there's also vitamin A and vitamin E in here, and I don't know if those are water soluble. And then some of the magnesium, riboflavin, zinc. I don't know if that would be the problem. I don't know what the limiting factor is here in terms of why they like want you to not drink it all day. But because like Noon, they're like drink 5 of them if you want, So I don't know, but this is tasty, and I could drink a lot of these. On the other hand, it kind of does remind me of like those fiber drinks when you like stir it up and you put your fiber powder in there. I don't have a regularity problem, so I don't normally take that, but I've tasted them before. But this is much better, so I like this. All right. Let's see. Oh, Cow Runs Boulder says, just had a May 2021 race postponed. Motivation is dwindling. Oh, man. Wow. May 2021. What race was that? That's a bummer. It's a real bummer. Steven Gersdorf says it's 80 degrees here in SoCal, but it gets down into the 50s at night. Yeah, that's not cold. But I understand how like cold is all relative, and if you're at 80s in the day, 50s at night can feel chilly for sure. Let's see. Sean Marshall said the Flow Ride Grow is AKA the second best looking shoe of 2020. I do like it, but the more and more I wear it, the more it just seems like one of those like shepherd sweaters. What are they called? Like the Shetland sweaters with like the cable knit, and it reminds me of that, the color tones and like the texture on the upper just really reminds me of that. So I've just been having fun with it on a lot of levels. And it says, oh, we know you don't have a regularity problem. Yeah. I know I didn't need to clarify that. But yeah. Steven Gersdorf said, I thought of Metamucil too. Yeah. That's kind of what you have a relative that takes it, I think, regularly. And it reminds me of that, but I think this tastes a little bit better than that. Dr. 1216 says, did you also drink Sunny D growing up? Sunny D was like a treat drink that we never got. So like I was aware of it. I drank it growing up. I did enjoy it quite a bit. But like my mom would never buy that. Is my mom here today? My mom would never buy that. She'd be like, just drink orange juice. And I'd be like, but I want Sunny D. And she's like, no. Just drink orange juice. So I never had it. I've had it like, as treats at other people's houses, but never at my own house, I think. Rain Runner says, I got some Metamucil to try and it is gross. That's funny. All right. Gavin Braden said, have you treated yourself to any lovely Ed Bud merch? Ed Bud has merch? I didn't know that. I just got in a really big shipment of lots of merch from people, so I'm pretty excited to put them in videos. I was going to wear one today, but I was like, no. What's going on with this camera? But I said, no. I'm going to wait, and I'm going to put it in a video so you guys can see it. But the hard thing is, like, I don't want to put them in, like, videos where I'm reviewing stuff because I don't want it to look like, like Sage approves of this massage gun or something by wearing the Sage shirt. So like I kind of have to like wait for the right time. But yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. And I got a whole bunch of merch, so I think you guys are gonna be pretty happy about it to see it. It's good stuff. Brian Wen says 2 questions: does the ASIC Nova Blast cushion bottom out? 2, would you go a half size down on the Nova Blast? 1, I would say no. I feel like the magic of it is that it, like, even though it seems like it's super squishy, it mellows out like after like the 10 or 20 miles or so, but it doesn't feel like it's either bottoming out at the end of like a long run. The squish still stays there, and at 100 miles, at least as far as I took it, I still felt the squish in there. So it still felt like not like a right out of the box pair, but it still felt like really fresh. So that was pretty amazing about that material. And 2 is, would I go down a half size? I would say no. It just fits a little bit big though. Just keep that in mind. And in the wintertime, that might be fine because then you just wear thicker socks anyway and you're good. But I think that if you went down a half size, it might seem a little bit too snug. That'd be my concern. But yeah, I would be hesitant to do it. Let's see. Mark Chankoko says, Pizza Hut now has Beyond Sausage Pizza. Might have to try that stuff. Yeah, I want to try it too. Just because like I want to support the notion that people are trying these different products, But and I do like I don't mind Pizza Hut. I ate a lot of Pizza Hut growing up. So I do have an affinity for it, but there isn't one nearby. The nearest one is like 25 miles away. So that's a little bit of a bummer. All right. Oh, Pascal Bersma says, hello, the Netherlands is here. Welcome. Yeah, look, a lot of you guys got so many miles on your Nova Blast. Frank's got 350 miles on his. They still feel fine. Someone else said they got, Chris Dykes has 480 Ks in his. Still good and true to size for him. Yeah. Nice. Cool. Oh, look who's here. We got, all right, I see it. There it is. Jordan Thomas is here. What's going on, Jordan? Says, yo, what's going on? Just got here. What are you drinking today? Today it's non-alcoholic today. We're going with some Airborne. So thanks so much for the super chat. You're always so generous with those coming in every time. And then Airborne today, because I just thought I'd try it out. I was going to try a whole bunch of them, but I was reading the instructions and they're like, don't overdo it. You know, you can only take so many because it's like some of them are like a vitamin. I have a whole variety of ones that I bought. So I'm just doing the one today. And I'm actually really liking it. But yeah, good to see you here. By the way, you guys, we've all been talking a lot about how much we love the Hyperion Tempo. Jordan has some beautiful B-roll in his video about the Hyperion Tempo as well. So if you are interested in just some more Hyperion Tempo goodness, go check out Jordan's channel. He's got some good videos up on there right now. Awesome. Derek says fast food chains need to get on the vegan cheese train. Oh, I'm not on that train. Let me tell you, I'm very, whenever I see vegan cheese, it's the only time I opt not to have cheese. Because I just think it's gross. So where did I used to go? Veggie Grill. There was one really close to my office, and we would go there all the time. And anytime they had an offering of cheese, I'd be like, don't put the cheese on there, please. I don't think it's a product that's, for me, it's not there yet. It's hard. Sorry about that. I apologize if you really love it, but I just don't. Dr. Funk 1216 said, I ate Pizza Hut recently. I don't think it's as good as I remember. Nostalgia goggles, I suppose. That could be it, but part of it too. Oh, there's like a whole bunch of like sediment at the bottom here. So I got to give it a little bit of stir. I think part of it is, like the recipes changed over time too. So like, remember like a couple of years ago, Domino's underwent like a massive overhaul. And I distinctly remember that because I was like, for a while, I was like, Domino's is just such trash. It's just terrible pizza. It's like, they sell it so cheap. There must be more not food in there than there is food, and it just doesn't taste good. And then they like went through an overhaul and they were like, we got kind of like rested on our laurels a little bit. And so there might be that, kind of like price, pinching, trying to reach the different price points and stay like competitive. There are corners that sometimes get cut. So it might be that. I don't think it's necessarily the same product that you had years ago or from whenever the last time you had it. So there very well could be a difference there. Lucas Lulicampo says, hey, Kofuzi, did your mom say something about the live? Considering sometimes it gets weird. I think she thinks it's funny. But, I mean, no one knows me better than my mom. So, like, she knows that I talk about poop all the time. And so she's just like, she's more surprised that you guys are into it than the fact that I'm talking about how often I poop outside on the internet. So that's kind of how the dynamic is. My mom's not that surprised at the things that I say. It's funny. All right. Brian Wynn also asking about the Cayano Light. I haven't tried any of the light versions. Those, I just, as much as I love that ASICS made it, right? That I was like, they went for it. They tried something new, but I also want to be like, just make it. Why isn't the Cayano Light just the next Cayano? And if you need to, just keep making the old Cayano, a whole bunch of them, if you want. Just keep calling it the 23 or whatever number they're on. And maybe the 23 from 2020 ends up being really different from the 23 of like 2018. But, I mean, ultimately, like, yeah, I maybe I undervalue legacy customers in terms of like, when it comes to brands that are wanting to try new things. I just feel like, I don't know, people hold on to what they think was working or don't want to like lose that part when it's like, look, the brand is struggling. Some of those flagships aren't really flagships anymore. It's time to mix it up. The people that you're so worried about offending, they're not buying enough to make it work. So like it's time to overhaul, and let's do it. So that's kind of like what I don't like about the lights. But it just, I'm also really tempted this year because this year the lights look really good. Not the Cayano for me, but what was it? Everyone's been reviewing it lately. Was it the Nimbus light? Looks nice. Looks really nice. I like the women's color better than the men's. Yeah. Stephen Gersdorf asks, where'd it go? Why are vegan burgers more expensive than real burgers? It's a good question. It shouldn't be, right? But I think it's because they have to do all the stuff to it to make it taste, or try to make it taste like a regular burger. That makes it expensive. But ideally, the idea would be that after a while, the processes become so like refined. Not that they're refining the food, but like the workflow becomes so well orchestrated that it can become cheaper because you're dealing with plants versus the cost of raising animals and transporting and all that stuff. So hopefully it becomes cheaper. And I'm thinking, here's how it will become that like vegetable burgers become cheaper than regular burgers, is that at some point we're going to hit a tipping point where a McDonald's just hamburger, it's going to be cheaper to put in vegetable product than it is going to be to put in meat product. And at that point, they'll just switch it over and they just won't tell people. And that's what I mean. Like, I think it's miserable that they wouldn't tell people. I think they should tell people. But I think that when we reach that point, that's when I feel like then vegetables have like won, if you want to put it that way. I just think that's going to be a really big inflection point when that happens, when it becomes to the point where like vegetarian chicken nuggets, like the McChicken sandwich, for example, it's still sold for $1, isn't it? A chicken sandwich for $1? Like, what is in that? How much food can there possibly be in that, right? And so like with a hamburger as well, same thing. Like, how much food is in that hamburger? How much meat do you think is really in there? There's got to be something else in there that's not meat. And at a certain point, they're just gonna be like, yeah, it's been vegetables for like the last 7 years. I think we're gonna find that out. I mean, I hope that's what ends up happening, because I just think that I don't think that those burgers will end up being any better for you than the ones that they sell now. But hopefully the environmental impact will be better. So that's why I'm like excited about it. All right. CK Stoner says, my daughter was vegan for like 2 years. I always asked, a burger is a burger. They shouldn't call it a vegan burger. Come up with another name. I also have a problem with that because for me, a burger implies meat. So I like veggie patties. I don't really like when they call it like bean burgers like that. Yeah, I don't like that. I think I agree that it should be called a different name. I also don't like nut milks, like almond milk. It's not, if it didn't come from an udder, don't call it milk. That's kind of how I feel about it. But yeah. Carlos Sejas asked, do you still have the Vaporfly Next Sense? No, I don't. I gave all mine to Seth. Well, one of them was older. I donated that one to charity. A couple of them were pretty new. Like only had like less than 30 miles on them. Those I think I gave one or two. I think I gave one to Seth. So that's what's going on. Yeah. Danny J says, hey, folks, sounds like I walked in at the perfect time. Yeah. Daniel M says, beef burger, bison burger, plant burger. The word burger is fine. Yeah, I suppose. But I don't know. I feel like beef patty, bison patty, plant patty. That works for me. But burger, I just feel like that should, I don't know. If I were a meat eater, I guess I still am a kind of a meat eater. But like if I were a meat enthusiast, a carnivore enthusiast, and someone was like, hey, have this burger. And they were like, hey, it's made out of plants. I'd be like, that's not cool, man. That's not cool. You said burger. There should be meat in this. So like, I would get upset. Claudio Cavaccini says, what do you use Insta360 for? I use it for capturing different kinds of running footage. So anytime where you see me running and it looks like someone else might be filming me, that's still me filming myself. I don't think except for at some races, I've had other people film me. But other than that, I've never had anyone film me running. I've only filmed myself. So if you don't see a selfie stick in the shot and there's me running, I'm using an Insta360 for that. If I do Tiny Planet, all those weird effects where things are like super fisheye, that's all the Insta360. Rain Hunter says, now I want a burger. There's always something. We can always bring it back to food somehow. Run on Beer says, I'm definitely going to start identifying as a meat enthusiast. Yeah. There was a time where this country was just like, everyone was a meat enthusiast. Remember when like bacon was, bacon's still pretty intensely popular, but like, remember when everyone was like super baconed up on everything? Yeah. All right, let's see what we got here. Brian Wen wants to know, which running brand do you F with the most? Oh, yeah. Me, I think this year it's Saucony, even though I'm kind of taking a little bit of a break with them, but like I've run in a bunch of their shoes. And for apparel, my favorite is Craft. I just really like Craft stuff. The stuff they make is great. I haven't run in anything in Craft. Even a shirt that I got from like a race that was a Craft shirt was really good. I just really enjoyed it. So, yeah. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Martha says burger, and it is like milk. Maybe it should be spelled Berg-R and milk MYLK is sometimes used for non-milk milks. Yeah, they have to do it for wings when they call them wings, and they're not like technically from a chicken wing, or like the FDA is weird. I think Europe gets it right a lot of times. Yeah, but in terms of like food etymology and like naming things, so you know what you're getting. But yeah. Larry Mo says, Kofuzi upset. Hard to imagine that. Yeah, I get riled up on little things. A lot. I get very passionate about very inconsequential things. It's kind of my thing. Yeah. Phil Ortman, where did that go? It just jumped. I'm going to find it. Daniel says, man, that's like if someone offered you a hot dog and you found out there wasn't any dog in it, then you got upset. That's funny. Corey Villancourt says, Maple bacon is the way to go. I won't disagree with you on that. I feel like the sweetness of maple syrup and like pork fat, just really delicious together. Yeah, Phil Orman, here we go. I'm going to update my Twitter bio to include meat enthusiast. Funny. Maybe I'll have a plant enthusiast shirt and then also sell a meat enthusiast shirt, and we'll see which one sells better. Yeah. Rainrunner says the Impossible Burger is pretty good, even if it's full of processed stuff. I'm a fan. And to be honest, I don't think I could tell the difference between an Impossible Burger and Beyond Burger, like those two. Like I don't know. I'm really not sure I could tell. Yeah, but they're both very tasty. But like, I don't know. I guess my bar for what I would need to be for me to enjoy it, I guess, is pretty low at this point. Yeah. Chris Yao says, chalk it up all up to marketing. Bacon, cigars, vaping, whatever the big machine decides to push, society seems to follow. It is kind of strange the way that goes, right? But it reminded me of a book I read a very long time ago. I don't know if I was in college or high school or after college when I read this, but it was a book like something on the madness of crowds. And it was a book that cataloged the different things that the entire world was like, just went nuts for, like as a weird, crazy fad over the course of history. So it wasn't like hula hoops or things like that. It was like tulips and like the tulip craze and how people were looking, would pay fortunes to get, what was it? The midnight purple tulip or something like that, like a black tulip. So I'm not sure it's all just the big machine deciding to push it. I think there's probably some element of that, but I also think it's like sometimes things catch on and it becomes like a cycle. So like some people caught on to it and it's like, and then like the people that are selling those things are like, oh, people are liking this, let's push it. And it just becomes, I think it gains, inertia. And so sometimes I think it's very much as like pessimistic as like, yeah, a bunch of like capitalists decide, they're going to start selling this and everyone's going to like cigars, or poker. Remember when poker was like huge? Yeah. But then sometimes I'm like, I think things just kind of go in waves, Shannon says, now I have that symphony song that goes with beef. It's what's for dinner. Yeah, that's a good one. It's I feel like that was the first where I was like, oh, this is an American symphony, right? Because it feels like Western, and I just was like, that song like resonates with me on a couple of levels. It's a really good piece. I do really enjoy that one, and it always makes me think of food. So that always helps when something can make me think of food. It's a positive connection for me usually. Mark Jankogo says, does Kraft make shoes? They will. I mean, I think they do make a shoe, but they are going to be making a racer pretty soon. The pictures of it have been released, and it's going to come out in like the zebra flage. So I'm pretty excited about it. Now, I think it was Ben Johnson that was saying that they had a giant booth at the Atlanta Marathon on the marathon trials weekend, because that's also the same weekend that the Atlanta Marathon was. And they had a giant booth down there. And I was like, oh, cool, craft booth. But it was like super crowded and I didn't bother going there. But Ben Johnson was saying, I think it was Ben Johnson, was saying that like, yeah, they had like versions of the shoe, not for sale, but they would like show it to people. If like you knew to like, hey, I hear you have like a prototype of the racer. Can I see it? That they would like let you look at it. And I was like, I wish I had done that. I wish I had known that. Because from the looks of it, it's very intriguing. It's hard to tell with the zebra flage. It's successful. It's hard to tell like what the shoe is really going to be, but it looks like a high stack shoe. So we'll see what it is when it comes out. Let's see. Where'd it go? Danny J says, businesses follow consumerism. Bacon probably became trendy because one person made a really good batch and wouldn't shut up about it, influenced two people, and suddenly a bacon wave. Yeah, I remember there was like a bacon fest on Navy Pier. It was this giant thing that sold out. Like tickets to it sold out in like 3 hours. And Navy Pier can hold a lot of people. Like those convention halls, they're big. So, yeah. Martha says, Thorsten Veblen created the idea of conspicuous consumption. I'll have to read more on Thorsten Veblen. I'm not familiar. Interesting. Yeah, Gulshan Paul says, Bitcoin sits next to tulips. I mean, is Bitcoin like that? Is that going to ever catch on? I don't know. I'm not sure. For a moment, I was like, oh, this might actually go somewhere. And I'm like, should I have bought one? Like a Bitcoin? I was like, I don't know. But Bitcoin sticking to the tulips? Maybe. We'll see. Yeah. Martha says, hey, this kind of marketing needs to be applied to the vaccines. Got vaccine? I feel like there's memes like that go around, but they don't mean what you think. I think they're like meant like ironically. So there's that goes around. The anti-vaxxers are marketing hard against vaccinations generally. I don't know how anti-vaxxers feel about the coronavirus vaccine. I don't know any anti-vaxxers, so like I can't be like, hey, Jim, what do you think? Like I don't know. But I don't. Yeah, I'm curious to see what that's going to be like. Stevie 76. I just saw a minivan with Iowa plates. Careful. I mean, if they just came from Iowa, I mean, we got pretty high positivity rate here, so keep your distance. Yes. Lucas Lily Campos says, poker's still strong, Kofuzi. I'm an online pro player. Maybe there in the USA it's not that big anymore because the country closed up for the rest of the world. Yeah, I mean, I know poker's still strong, but there was a time where like poker tournaments were on TV weekly. On like, I mean, it was like the Saturday sports, it's like the Saturday afternoon sports thing. Like it was on, but it was on like a major network. And now you can still find them, but they're a little bit harder to find. But I'm thinking like we hit a peak when like, remember Rounders? That was a good movie. But like there was that, and then like there was an arc. Then there was like that Kevin Spacey movie where he was that dude at MIT where he trained like a whole bunch of smart mathematician kids to count cards and things like that. So there was like a whole like arc of like cards and like gambling, and it became a really big thing in the US. And I was at the exact right age to be like susceptible to it. So I was like very much into poker for a while. I still really do enjoy playing poker a lot. But I'm pretty boring to play with because, I mean, you know, someone who runs marathons, of course, is just going to be a grinder and sit there all day and play, you know, and play the minimum, whatever you can until you get your hand. And then you know to just jump out because if Code's playing, then yeah, he's got the hands. So that yeah, I guess I'm not that fun to play poker with. All right. Let's get going. We got Jeff Elliott says, being an anti-vaxxer was easier when you're dealing with diseases that we already have herd immunity for. Hopefully that will wise up. Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting thing. I wonder what's going to go on with that. Very, very confused about it. Matt says, New Jersey reported something like $800 million in online gambling revenue in October in 1 month. Insane. That is a lot. That's crazy. Oof. Wow. Yeah. Lucas Lily Campos says, I'm actually here working right now. Awesome. So he's got this on, like, and you're playing around. Awesome. Very cool. Ben Browning says, hey guys, what's going on, Ben? Good to see you. All right. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Scroll up a little bit here. Arnold Allen says, I've met many anti-vaxxers in Texas. Why do you think that is? But to go back to like the whole like getting caught up in like the like fads and crowds, Brian, he says, many of us are probably guilty of succumbing to the shoe marketing machine. Oh, I'm fairly sure that I have been. I have succumbed to it for sure. So I try to, you know, step back from it a little bit. But on the other hand, I'm like, you know, people that are, but then it's like, if everyone's always like, how much of this is hype? If you do that a lot, then it's hard to get really excited about stuff sometimes. You know, it's easy to go like the other direction and be like in the everything is miserable camp, you know? So that's kind of like where I try to like, you know, I want to be unbiased at times, but the other hand, like I'm an enthusiast. So like I want to get excited. I like to get riled up about stuff, you know? So P-Funk says, are you planning to do a winter running essentials video this year? Great question. It came out today. And so, yeah, it came out a lot later than normal today, just because it's a behemoth. It's like 30 minutes long. Sorry, it's really long, but there's like chapters along the bottom, so you can skip forward to like whichever one you want for me to talk about. But I tested out a whole bunch of different things, so hopefully it gives you some ideas of some good stuff that's out there. And I tried to hit a variety of like price points too. So like some of the stuff is a little bit more pricey, some of it is not as expensive. So I don't think I was as successful as doing that on the pants, but I think for everything else, I got a variety of prices. Yeah. All right. Ryan Polly says the bacon boom was not an accident. Interesting. Phil Ortman says, what about those Magic Rubber wristbands with the holographic sticker that gave you superpowers? I don't know what you're talking about, Phil. What was that? I missed that one. Interesting. Yeah. Christian says, Kofuzi, full disclosure, I didn't watch the winter video as it doesn't apply to Miami. Yeah, I figured you wouldn't need to watch that one, but I did see you comment in there, so I appreciate that. But I played it in full with ads and gave it a thumbs up for your stats. Thank you. I appreciate that. You guys don't need to do that. Life's too short to like just play a video that you don't want to watch. So that's totally cool, but I appreciate that very much. Awesome. Let's see. Yeah, Jeff Elliott says, hate to be awful, but there will be less anti-maskers next year than there are now. I mean, I hope you're wrong, but I could see where you're going with that. Remy says, Kofuzi, any chance you'll take a look at the Wahoo Arrival? I was really intrigued by it. Whose video did I see on it first? I saw, I'm trying to think of whose video I saw first. It was a triathlete's video that I saw first, and I was like, this looks pretty cool. And I mean, Wahoo I feel like they've been making some really good stuff. I mean, I know they've been making good cycling stuff and triathlete stuff for a while, but I'm like, oh, even for a runner, some of this stuff is starting to make a lot more sense. And then I watched DC Rainmaker's video today, and I don't know if I'll look at it. I'm not sure. I'll take a look at the price and kind of see, but given that I don't do triathlons, like right now, I've not done one before, and so like that seems to be like the main benefit, that it passes from the swim to your bike computer back to your run really like seamlessly. But like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe. I'm leaning against it though. We'll see. Yeah, let's do a couple more. Arnold Allen is saying the A6 Hyperspeed. That's all I'm saying. I am excited. You know, I was intrigued by it. I know I saw Seth has made a couple of videos about it, and he seems to really like it. And then Jamie made a video about it today too, which I don't know if you guys saw that, but he has a beautiful man bun in that video, and I'm quite envious of it. It looks great. But Meg's in it, and I thought Meg got picked up by New Balance. So like, I don't know what the terms of her sponsorship are, but it seems to be weird that she's reviewing a A6 shoe in that. So I was a little confused with that. But they were talking about how, you know, for that price, it's $90, amazing price, that you're not getting flight foam. And I thought it was flight foam. So like the fact that it's not flight foam and it's instead some sort of like unnamed miscellaneous foam makes me a little bit hesitant to get it. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get it. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. Christina says, can someone please create a YouTube channel called AC Sunmaker that reviews all the tech yet has 100% contrasting views to DC Rainmaker? That'd be pretty funny. All right. Matthew Bailey says, what's going on, Matthew? Good to see you. All right. Shannon says, gotta go finish up work. Bye, friends. Enjoyed having lunch during happy hour. Awesome. Ben Browning says, my Zwift man bun rocks. That's funny. That's really funny. All right. Yeah, I think that's probably a good place to leave it for today. Since Shannon's got to go too, and I got to get going as well. I got some girls that want to play some freeze tag. Since the weather's nice today, they made a request at recess. If after live stream we could play freeze tag today. And I also got in a pack of rainbow glitter glue gun sticks, and so they also want to do that too. So I got a busy afternoon planned, so I got to get to it. But hopefully you guys had a good time today. I had a good time. This Airborne stuff, pretty good. I wish it were like noon where I could drink a whole bunch of them throughout the day, but you know, I guess I could just drink noon for that. Tomorrow's video is going to be about sleep and recovery. Not a super scientific one, just very anecdotal, but just a little video about sleep. And then we'll do another live stream in the afternoon, same time, 3 p.m. Central Time, right here on YouTube. Hopefully I'll see you guys then. In the meantime, be safe out there, everybody. Thanks.